But the whole thing is, what get me is all these Christians out here are coming up against us, but no one's saying what Amalek's doing. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders, apostles, bishops of Great Millstone that do group well. And we'd like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, Yahweh's sheep are being fed. And Tawadiya Bashem El Shai, Bashem Rakakodash, for inspiring us to come out to the highways, byways, and the hedges as we were commanded to. And if you didn't know, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, those scattered abroad according to the diaspora, and according to Chat GPT, the diaspora represents the Israelites scattered amongst the Gentiles. That's what the artificial Idumea said, all right? So shout out to Elder Yashimamba for that one. Now we're correcting artificial intelligence. So that proves that the Lord, through the Holy Spirit, has given us a mouth and wisdom that an adversary can't gainsay or resist. That's why people from Kemetic or different walks and beliefs, where do they come up and who do they talk to? Us. They mainly talk to us, you know? They're not talking to no one else. They're not talking to Mormons. But at the end of the day, the most important thing when it comes to wisdom and knowledge and understanding is having the understanding in prophecy. Everybody's got something they want to say, believe, or do, but no one is understanding that no matter what, prophecy is going to overtake everyone's admirations, dreams, and desires. Yep. You know, that's why it tells you in James, the 4th chapter, go now that ye to say today and tomorrow, you know. So let's start with 1 Corinthians 14, the most important thing.
This is 1 Corinthians 14:1. Follow after charity.
Shalom.
Shalom, bro.
See, we're at the end. Jake waking up. That's why they took us out of Rome the first time.
Yep.
You know, keep going.
1 Corinthians 14:1. Follow after charity. And real quick, if I can add, they say charity is the highest form of Israelite love. Because charity says charity covers the multitude of sins, you know? It says, and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
And that's why, too, also, at the end of the day, you want to be incognito.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because with Jake, with the border blue, it's like a bitch with her fucking ass out.
Right.
You can spot it a mile away, dummy. You know? So I say a lot of things exhortedly out of brotherly love.
Right.
Not to be mean or an asshole, but as a brother, because no one else is telling you that. Just like a man, no one else is telling you a dumbass to cover up.
Right.
So someone needs to tell that whoever you learning from, bro. I spotted you 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Now, if we weren't in our priestly garments, you wouldn't know who we were.
Yep.
You wouldn't know at all who we were. So we're in a time where you need to be incognito, man.
Right.
Even though this is a house on a hill that can't be hid, okay?
That's right. And you saying that's charity.
Yep.
You know, because it says open rebuke is better than secret love. So that's called being your brother's keeper, you know?
Yeah. So be modest. Don't be loud, you know? It's like a woman with her ass out. You drawing attention to you, dummy.
Right.
That's an idiot. Don't be an idiot out here. You got to be wise, man. Don't be like these fucking do not be like these vain vessels of these Babylonian citizens, man. Okay? Be a man. Be a woman. Walk in guidance. Walk in order. Stop walking out of disorder and disarray. You know, let your balls show. Put your foot down.
Right.
Shit. What you got, bro?
This is Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
And guess what, brother? Sheeps blend in. Sheeps blend in. So when you when you're a sheep, you blend in. How many times in Tawadiya Bashem Shai Bashem Kakodash we out here? I just want to say that.
Right.
But how many times did Yahweh Shai dip off and then he was invisible?
Right, yeah.
A bunch of Jakes walking by, you know, like that movie Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
He was driving, then he got out the car, and the car kept going, and he slowly walked up to the crowd. Jake went over, put his hat on him.
Yep.
He sat there, you didn't know where he was at.
Exactly, yeah.
We blend in. We're not worldly, but we know how to blend in with the world, like a sheep blends in with the flock.
Yep.
Okay? Keep going, brother.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
So we're surrounded by wolves. So one, a sheep is a prey. So then what do you do now knowing that you are amongst predators? you carry and conduct yourself in a manner not to be overtaken, not to be vulnerable. All right? So now is the time to conduct yourself with wisdom, not just boastful zealousness.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Hey, Shalom, what's up, you two?
Right.
And y'all in the break room. Oh, speaking of that, a beloved brother from New York, the brother, I think is it Zion Yahweh?
Zion of Yahweh.
Yeah, that brother. Shalom to the Shalom to all the brothers, you know. You know, truly mean that. But the brother had a testimony how some scoffer showed up at his job yelling out his Hebrew name and calling him a false prophet, but the brother didn't the brother ignored him, kept walking, and then the demon tried to go and get him in trouble, not knowing that that brother was a manager at the job, and that nigga ended up getting himself fired, and he was on parole. So he dug a ditch and then fell therein.
Right.
So keep going. If the rain increases, we'll go under the covering.
Right.
It's light. It's
I see it a little bit.
yeah. It's been a weathery season, ain't it? Hell yeah. You know the winter. You know, cause we still waiting for Nate to send the film crew. Cut the check. All right. Keep going, brother. Mr. Wolves.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
Yep.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
And guess what? A serpent will run away. You ever see a snake slither off?
Mm-hmm.
A serpent will get out of a situation that it don't need to be in. Let's say her two in the UK. Who's it? Humble servant. You from the UK? Something. Her two in the UK. Reiterate what you're saying, please. Read that again.
This is Matthew 10 and 16. Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
Yeah, wise as a serpent. A serpent can blend in. A lot of times a serpent or a snake, it only dwells. The brothers out there in the UK. Well, shalom to you, bro.
Shalom.
You know, all the way out there in the UK. So a serpent, like a rattlesnake, is mainly where? In like a desert, but it blends in the desert. You know, when you look at it, when you think about it, they got something called a garden snake. Where's a garden snake at? In the garden.
Yep.
You know, right?
Right.
You know, like they say, don't be a fish out of water.
Yeah.
So when you see Jake out here with fringes on and they're not at camp, you're a sheep without a shepherd. You're just by yourself wandering around, but those fringes put a target on your back. It's like, you want to know if Esau's racist? Well, his attire will gives it away. Antifa, BLM. You already are letting everybody know what you stand for. Keep going. Wise as a serpent.
And harmless as doves.
Boom. So at the end of the day, we're not strikers, but we're also not carpets. But we're not out here to be antagonists or throwing ad hominem attacks.
Yeah.
Pretty much direct. We're not directly addressing anyone to cause a ruckus.
Yeah, we're not provoking nobody.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's us exhorting how you need to be in the midst of prophecy. So when you can, brother, back to that, the original Corinthians.
Back in 1 Corinthians 14 and 1.
Shit, even Esau hides his puts on a clan mask. You know? Shalom, Yahbashim Ashai, Bashim Kakodash, Brakatam to the body of believers, right? Even Esau will cover up.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
So the whole point of us out here as Hebrew Israelites is not just to know that you're an Israelite, but that you have a job to do as an Israelite, and that's to prophesize. That's to be a watchman. That's to let on. Why is Trump just get a bill passed of over $175 billion in military aid for deportation?
Yep.
Okay? Why are they now telling you that they're a gold dome over Babylon for nuclear missile defense?
Yep.
Okay? Why are South American Edomites getting being allowed refugee in Babylon? Huh?
South Africa.
What'd I say?
South America.
Yeah, South Africa. Thank you, brother.
Right.
Two's better than one.
Right.
So in South Africa, when you look into it, that's because of the apartheid, where the Brits went over there, and Britain had a major part to play in Amalek getting that land. Can we get Ezekiel 36 and 5?
Yep.
What are you holding, brother?
I was talking about Rev 12 and 12.
You get that, and let's get some fun history on Ezekiel 35 and 6. Let's prove to the Gentiles why we tell you that the people in our land are heathens and not the Israelites, because it was prophesied specifically for Idumea to get our land. And when you go into history, during the First World War, you had a Balfour Declaration that was declared in 1917 to Lord Rothschild, who was a Amalek pusher, but he was a predominant figure in Britain. Why did you tell Rothschild that Britain now stands for Amalek to get back to the land? Jews, if you will. I'm trying to be choice with my words.
Right.
But the point is, if you actually go into history, we could break down how Amalek acquired our land, because they took it from the Ottoman Turks during World War I under the rulership of Britain, when they defeated the Ottomans, who were over Hungary and Austria. All right, which Hungary, Austria, Star from Heaven. What's my man's name?
Archduke Ferdinand?
No, not that one. He got assassinated, but the star was the German king, Franz, I think.
Yes. Okay, I forgot his first name.
I gotta remember it. Read that. It's a lot of history.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue
Kaiser
thee.
William.
No, go. You said 35 or 6?
Yeah,
6 and 5.
it goes into it. 5 and 6.
Okay.
But Kaiser Wilhelm, which is the star
Kaiser.
from Rev 9,
Okay.
he was that star over Europe, but that issued World War I, the first woe. But in that first woe, you got to understand that there was a declaration by a secretary named Arthur Balfour that wrote a letter to Rothschild, letting him know that Britain is backing Jews to the land, but they didn't get the land until World War II, and they used it because what Germans doing to them. So they played the victim to get our land.
Yep.
So they're playing the victim to expand the land. You got to know history. From the top again at 5?
You want me to start at 5?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35.
Oh,
verse
36 and 5.
Okay, yeah.
36
okay,
and 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salakia.
But 35 is good too, because it's going into Edom,
Yeah, you got to start one with that one.
which is crazy.
Right.
So we just get 36, 5, and 6. Baba Kashah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
The residue of the heathen. So now, this is specifically pertaining to the residue of the heathen, and within that, Idumea is mentioned, as well as our land. And we know Idumea to be who? Edom, Esau today, the so-called white man and woman, and chiefly Amalek now is claiming our nationality, hence how they got into our land. So that's not prophecy. Prophecy didn't say that Britain would bring us in. And what proves that that's not fulfillment of prophecy, as soon as they got in the land, there was an Arab-Israeli war. But it says they shall learn war no more. They don't have King David. They have prime ministers. So all these examples that we're bringing out biblically proves that they can't be the people that are in the land just because they're claiming to be the people in that land.
Yep. Keep going.
Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen,
Yep.
and against all Idumea.
All Idumea. Britain is Idumea. Now, I asked ChatGPT, I said, how did Britain, which Britain is also, is Britain, in Rev 13, is Britain a head or a horn in Rev 13?
Repeat that again.
Is Britain, in Rev 13, where you have the 7 heads and the 10 horns, is Britain one of the heads or one of the horns?
So, Rev 13.
You want to grab it?
Gotcha.
Great is one of the horns.
Nope, Britain's one of the heads.
One of the heads.
Yep, the heads, because the heads are the empires.
Okay.
There were 7 heads or 7 major Edomite empires. Yep, I know you got it.
Yeah.
But then, what read it?
Rev 13 and verse 1.
Yep.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea,
Yep.
having 7 heads
7 heads.
and 10 horns.
And the 7 heads are going into the 7 empires. So when you go into it, you would say Greek. Let's break it down chronologically according to history. It would go Greek, then it would go Rome, Germania Major, Germania Minor, then it would go Spanish, French, then British. And then out of the Brits came the little horn in Daniel 7, which is America.
Yep.
All right. So one of the head that established Amalek in our land is also mentioned in Rev 13. Just like how British helped Amalek get that land, well, Britain was used here to establish the little horn for Babylon to be created.
Right.
See? So now let's go into it. So how did Britain strategically obtain the land of Palestine? That's why it says the mother will be ashamed of you.
Yes, yep.
How did Britain strategically obtain the land of Palestine? See, because before 1948, it was just called Palestine or Philistia. So it got changed after 1948 to the state of Israel.
Yep.
And it says, how did Britain, I asked ChatGPT, how did Britain strategically obtain the land of Palestine from the Ottoman Empire? It says, Britain obtained control of Palestine from the Ottoman Empire through a combination of military conquest, wartime alliance, and international, diplomacy? I know it's, what is it?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy during and after World War I. And do you know one way that they got that land is they supplanted Ishmael and said, once we get this land, we're going to allow you to return to the land, but they lied to him. So they broke a treaty.
Damn.
It's like they did with the native with Gad.
Thank you. So when you look at how Esau obtained Babylon, it's the same way how Britain and Amalek obtained our land.
Yep.
You know?
I got a quick precept.
Yeah.
This Isaiah 26 and 10. It says, let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will deal justly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So right now you have, wicked, you have, Amalek in our land. But even though, the Lord gave him that land, at this moment in time, he's not going to, follow the ways of the Lord.
Right.
That's why over there, it's that Pink City in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Pink City.
They eat kosher pig. So Esau, he's the epitome of a reprobate.
He's a hypocrite.
He is.
He's someone that pretends to be righteous,
Yep.
but in actuality, he's immoral.
Yep.
Esau, Edom's a hypocrite.
Yep.
2/3 are hypocrites. The majority of the woman is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Because when you look up the definition of hypocrisy, it's the sin of pretending to be good.
Right.
So you got people out here that pretending that they're righteous when they're really not.
Right.
Like an average Edomite American Christian. They pretend to be righteous, but they're really not. Amalek, they pretend to be righteous, but they're really not. You know?
We'll move over.
Yeah, let's just move over. We could slide it in. GMS on the move. Thank you, sir. Oh yeah, it just started to come down. It's starting to come down now. Okay, so we could reread those again.
I'll read one time.
Okay, we can get more in if you need us get in here so you ain't gotta get wet, though. You know what I'm saying?
Isaiah 26 and 10, it says, let favor be shewed to the wicked.
Yeah.
Right, so the Lord is showing Esau favor because of prophecy right now. Esau plays a big role pertaining to, these prophetic events that we see going on around the globe.
Uh-huh.
And
I got one for you. No, I got one. You said, let favor be shown to the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? You know what helps take part in that?
What?
This is Isaiah 25 and 7. And it says, and he will destroy in this mountain representing government, and destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
Right.
So Esau, Edom right now, he gets the so-called luxury to be looked at as innocent, pure, righteous. I'm white.
Right.
I'm just a white girl in a big bad world.
I'm European.
You see that nasty fucking Sheetamite that be having all those multiple men? That shit is sick. Where she gets all those thousands of that shit is sick. Okay? Hey man, that's as spiritual men, that doesn't move me.
It's not attractive.
Hey, thank you. That's being a slut and a whore is not attractive.
Doesn't turn me on.
It's like, what does that do for you?
Yeah.
The next in line. Like,
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
But and that represents Babylon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time a house you get, you know what I mean, you're laying in someone else's bed.
Yeah.
You're eating off someone else's plate.
Yeah.
You know, like everything is reused in Babylon. And because Esau, being that the covering cast favoring him, which is Edomite supremacy, which right now Esau is completely showing his horns of Edomite supremacy. Okay? They don't care what Britons did to South Africa and Leopold and the apartheid, but they're saying, please, bottom barrel Edomites, come here.
Yep.
And when you really think about it, even Esau don't give a crap about all of his people, because when those bottom barrel South African Edomites come here, they're not about to uphold the society to a higher echelon.
Right.
They're just going to be another useless eater.
Yep.
Because guess what? Trump's not talking about the billionaires of Edomites that still live in South Africa. Did you know there's a billionaire family in South Africa known as the Oppenheimers?
Oh wow, that's a
Okay? And guess where Elon Musk came from? South Africa. Okay? So before you start talking about all of this genocide, and why did that South African Hamite, when Trump pulled the picture, why did not he say, well, look what you're doing in your backyard?
Yep.
Look what you're doing to the so-called blacks and browns. See, because truth faileth. We're the ones that we're the ones that get that slip jab when we get the opportunity of truth. Mm-hmm. We're the ones that pop you in the mouth with truth or turn to the left and give you the liver shot for truth.
Right.
Other men that have truth hold back. They're like Mike Tyson biting a glove.
Right.
Nick Cannon and shit.
Right.
Y'all marched around the Staples Center because fucking Kydris Irving, you know what I'm saying? Everybody lost their mind because this wizard with a ball reposted Sam Doughton Jr.'s punk ass Hebrews and Negroes book. But when it comes to us, it's just a shalom.
Exactly.
You know? So truth faileth out here, man. So back to this. Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast. Yeah. So you're gonna get Moab, you're gonna get the yellow smacked out your ass, according to prophecy. You know what I mean? You're gonna come back to your natural biblical nationality,
right,
according to the nations of Genesis 10. Ethiopia's still holding on to that. Yep. Persia recently changed their name. Okay? And then all the people that all nations exist, Esau, Edom's just gone. Ain't that funny?
Right.
But you don't got Gad in the land, but you're in the land. And it says, and the veil that is spread over all nations. That's why to this day, people are still questioning us, what we say our nationality is, but you don't question when they just call us black.
Right. Just a color?
Yeah.
That's base, man. Real quick, back in Isaiah 26:10, and it says, let favor be shewed to the wicked.
And you're seeing it now.
Yep.
Welfare was started because of Esau. Yep. Colleges were started for Esau. Suburbs were created for Esau. Okay? The business booming of Babylon was for Edom. Yeah. Even Esau doesn't take care of all his people, but he needs his people to continue to want to reign in the supremacy of his people.
Exactly right.
So you get your bottom barrel Edomites that are set up to be over Jake at the bottom, and then you got your middle class Edomites to be the gatekeepers for the economic growth for Edom and Babylon, and then you got your higher elite Edomites to maintain a superiority over you all. There's gatekeepers in this thing. You're not going to be successful, okay? What you think they did to Tory Lanez?
Right.
Amalek destroyed Tory Lanez' character, and then tried to murder him because they knew that the truth was going to come out. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Tory.
And then before that shit happened, he had a song called Basically, all praise to the Most High.
See?
And then boom, they got him.
Truth faileth.
Yep, right.
What you got?
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Perfect.
Right now, right
He
there.
covereth the faces
Hold on,
of
brother.
the
Hold on.
judges.
Hold on. Let's read that again. We got it.
Yeah,
we got
read
it.
that slow.
Yep. Yeah, we got to dice that good.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24.
Because immediately my mind just fluttered with like history. One more time.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So we got to establish the wicked is Edom.
Yes.
Romans 9 says he is the vessel of dishonor. So this vessel of dishonor was also blessed by his father to have the fatness of the land. And when you go into the fatness, it even goes into oil. Now, oil is the principal thing for all men.
Yes.
But when it comes to evil men, oil is evil for him. And he uses oil to bring in more wars. And they call it fossil fuel. But let me be quiet
Right.
and make
Right.
sure my water. But hey, they say you can't do nothing to us.
Right.
It says we'll drink poison to live.
Right.
We might get in the kingdom and find out we drank some poisonous shit on a failed assassination attempt, and now we whoop your ass some more.
Right.
So-
Ate some poisonous shit.
Right.
You know, but they didn't know.
Right.
It was still lawful though.
So Esau, Edom, the earth was given into their hands. The deadly wound being healed, he took over the diamond district, the banks, interest, loans, usury. This is how he established his power amongst his own people. So the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. This is why he was able to finance wars. Even like now, Amalek has always had a part to play on what's going on in society. This is why prophecy is so important at the end of the day, because in the end we win and he loses.
That's right.
Okay, so one more.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not where, and who is he?
Renaissance. Let's ask ChatGPT who funded the Renaissance. The Renaissance, a cultural, artistic, and intellectual movement. Babel. He's gonna use Babel to make you take the mark. Look at this. Look at brothers. When did Amalek obtain power over the European banks? What year?
Was it 1694?
1654.
Oh, 1654.
I'll double check it, but look. So who funded the Renaissance in the 14th century? It began in Italy, North Italy. Wealthy patrons, including banking families. So Esau funded the Renaissance.
Wow.
That's why it says, if not, who is he?
Wow.
Whoever funded it had their picture painted on it.
Wow. It makes sense though. Right.
It says the Medici family, the most famous Renaissance. The Medici were powerful bankers, and I bet if we go further enough,
Yeah.
it says who used their vast wealth to support artists like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and Botticelli, as well as scholars and architects. Let me see what else we got. Oh, the Catholic Church. Who else? The Vatican. Oh, the Vatican is known as the false prophet. Let me see. I just want to see anything else. Okay, that's all I wanted. So right there, when you look up who funded the Renaissance, it says banking families. Now, since I said that, just for educational purposes, let's go back to this so we can get our history together. We're just proving you when Esau, Edom. Oh, look, here's the letter, the Balfour Declaration. Look at that. Screenshot that. Might want to hold on to that one. Remember he said that?
Yep.
Now, I just want to double check. The brother got a precept?
Yeah, I'm looking for the one that says the likeness of their image. Maccabees.
First Maccabees 3 and 48?
Got it.
And there's one in 2.
First Maccabees 3 and 48. It says, and laid open.
Oh, you were right. 1694, brother.
Okay.
He was right. See that? Diligent. 1694, I was wrong. But 1694, Amalek merchants secured the bank charter in 1694. From that moment on, Esau had financial dominion over all of Britain.
That's before they made the Illuminati.
Yep.
So then they had this shit already, planned out.
As directors of the bank, they could regulate the gold standard, consolidate the national debt, and even impose direct taxation on the people as a means to secure loans. What caused the American Revolution outside of prophecy, according to Daniel 7 and 8, was taxation.
Taxation.
Okay? And then I asked ChatGPT, is America taxing its citizens more than Britain's taxed the early colonists? And it said by a high margin, yes.
That's a great question.
And it said, yes, they are.
That reminds me of the scripture in Luke when it says the great taxing came in the days of, what was that, Augustus Caesar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Callidius Caesar?
Augustus, 18, because Augustus was before Nero.
Okay.
Because I believe Augustus was Nero's stepfather because he married Nero's mother, but then Nero's mother got Nero in, and then Nero got his mother killed.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, real quick one, just land back off the the images,
Yeah.
First Maccabees 3 and 48, and it says, it brings out in a minute, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen, meaning Esau mainly, has sought to paint the likeness of their images. So one, so one aspect of them, having the word in their hand, they put themselves up as the Most High, as Yahweh Shai, as the prophets, as everybody. Hollywood movies, Esau is everywhere. It's in the dollar bill. So that goes to show that Esau is the wicked.
Yeah.
Just that one example alone. You looking for something?
Yeah. Great tax in KJV.
I believe it's in Luke.
Oh, Luke, you're right.
It's in Luke.
Okay, you're
Luke
right.
2 or like 1. Let's see here.
What you got?
I got you. This is Luke 2 and verse 1. And it says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed.
Oh, well, right there. Does that mean that the Northern Kingdom in so-called South America was taxed?
Right.
So that doesn't mean when it says all the world, that means literally all the world.
Right.
I'm gonna just want to step out, get some lighting up in here. We're under this covering. It's covering cast.
Hey, brother, can you light some more of that Bible shot? Smoke real good.
But what I want to say is right now, you got Trump doing a lot of tax cuts and taxings, because that could be them potentially getting money together for war.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So they're getting money together for war. Esau Edom is getting ready for war. Poland is moving troops around for war.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
China said that if Amalek keeps attacking Gaza, they're going to interfere. That's war.
Mm-hmm.
War is happening.
Yep.
So don't allow the bubble of Babylon. Don't allow some B word. Because one thing I learned, don't let the box you in.
Mm-hmm.
A woman is not thinking about what we're thinking about.
Right.
She could be emotionally and mad because what you said to her, but because breaking news, this happened in Gaza, she's not going to sober up.
Yep.
Okay? So brothers, do not let that emotional, pretty creature trip you out, bro.
Yep.
We like you and love you, but we love you. How about Shemel Shai more, man? Okay?
Well, like it says in what's that? 2 Corinthians 14 and 14.
Hey, happy mess. Reveal yourself. Are you a friend or a foe?
Right.
And moderators, if it's a foe, take care of them.
Right.
All right? Because we got a job to do here. And I'll be thinking about it, man. Nobody else is pushing brothers to a level of greatness but the Holy Spirit through Yahweh Shemel Shai, starting with the men of Great Millstone.
Right.
No one else is pushing you, saying, you're the man, you're the head, you're the best. You're the best. You got it. No one else is in our corner. So if anybody's trying to interrupt that frequency, you're a demon, man.
Enemy. Straight up, man.
What you got, bro?
This is land back to what you just said. Like, don't allow the box of Babylon, distract you from the ultimate goal.
Don't let that box you in.
Right. Hey, just like Neo.
All right.
Murphy said, go ahead, look again.
Yep. Look again. And we, a majority of the exhortation, we exhort ourselves as well.
Yeah.
We exhort ourselves as well.
And not only do we exhort ourselves, we apply it.
Yep.
You said,
Because watch when the lights go off. No more cell phones can be used. No more running water. When the vintage fails, okay? When the leggings are used inside out, then they're cut and turned into shorts.
Right.
Or you gotta use it for long sleeves because it's cold and you're sleeping in the crevices of buildings.
Yep.
You can barely sleep. See, right now it looks like this is forever, okay? But forever can change in a New York minute.
Damn right. This is 2nd Nedrus 14.
Jacob's trouble is going to be woman's trouble.
Hell yeah.
Because the Lord is building us up. Working out, being more of a stoic, you know, getting our eating habits together, the mental fortitude that we're gaining. The rest of these people aren't going through that baptism like we are.
Right.
So you're going to be asked out, man.
2nd Nedrus 14 and 14 in the GNT stands for the Good News Translation. It says, but put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens, and lay aside your weak human nature.
Yeah, don't occupy your mind in the woman you love because of the marital issues you may be having.
Right.
That shit'll come and go, man. And it'll pass. But you got to go through it to do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll go, oh, that's immortal thought. Hey, leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah. What did it say? End times headline? See what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just gotta
Exactly.
rebuke it and keep going, man.
It reminds me of the movie Dr. Sleep, when he finally overcame those demons, and then in his mind he put those demons in a treasure box, and it just disappeared.
Yeah.
And then you gotta put those thoughts behind you, you know?
Yeah. Even
Because we don't get paid to overthink.
right.
You know?
That's a good quote. We don't get paid to overthink. But like there's a saying amongst certain professions: before you enter the house, leave your work on the bush,
Right.
so you don't bring it home with you.
Right.
You know, and you got to learn. You got to go through that. I had to. You just go through that. You know, because there's a bigger task at hand.
Right.
All right. Russia will tell you that. Moab will tell you that.
Yeah.
Amalek will tell you that. Persia will tell you that. Okay.
You said
India.
You said bigger task at hand?
Yeah.
This is gonna get it too. Perfect. Verse 15. It says, put all your anxieties aside.
Yeah. Woman is the least of your worries, brothers.
Yes. Truly.
And you know what I noticed? With everything happening in the real world with geopolitics, and you come back to Babylon and look at Jake, all Jake is doing is partying, dancing. There's a world war coming.
Literally.
There's a world war coming. There's a world war coming. Black people are not ready. We're the only people out here with no standing government to govern us. We're the only people that don't have a continent there ain't no Wakanda, man.
Yeah.
Okay? Where are you gonna run and hide to when this actually happens? You got nations beating their plowshares in the swords. And Jake is still mastering how to be a b-boy,
Yep.
how to riz, how to be a ladies' man. Jake is not ready.
Yep.
The Jake man and woman are completely through in La La Land.
Yes.
The Jake woman is still trying to perfect her fucking arch in her back.
Yep.
The Jake male is trying to perfect his double entendres,
Yep.
crossover, step back.
Yep.
Kobe, you're not ready.
Right. Kobe's dead. Come on.
You got Jake arguing if Jesus could beat Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
While nations
Yep.
are getting their nuclear reactors together, splitting atoms, getting uranium together, plutonium. Nations are actually getting ready for a world war. And what is the average Jake doing, man? On Facebook, half fucking naked. Like you can see the curses now more than ever. Because everyone else is advancing but the Israelite people. Everyone else is advancing. But it's like they're de-evolving. They're degenerates. The black woman in South Carolina, I was watching the Elder Montezak's live. The average black woman is out here in some stank-ass fucking lingerie bikini with her nasty, tatted, big, black, high, mild ass showing.
Naked, bro.
Oh my God. And you got nations training, loading, rearranging, getting allies.
Yep.
And the biggest thing you think that you're doing is tying a red and a blue flag together. Oh my God, man.
You got a precept?
This is first.
Hey, time them out. If they're saying something, just time them out. Get rid of them.
Yeah, block that nigga.
We're telling you war's coming.
Yeah.
We're at such a point, what did it say? Hide user. We're at such a point that it's like, bro, that's not sobering you.
Right.
I get you want to kick and play and make a joke, but it's like, wait a minute. You just say, wait, war's coming?
Right.
That should have make a nigga fix his hair. Like, hold on. What'd you say? Wait a minute. Whoa. Say that again?
And not just regular war, like it says in Isaiah, nuclear war.
Yeah.
War of fire. This
Yeah.
is not some, just
Skirmish.
swords. Yeah, this is this is the final fucking countdown.
Trump was saying
You know?
something about the men, youth are not ready for war.
Right in here in Babylon.
They got mental illness. They're not stable.
Yeah.
So if war happens, they're not gonna be able to fight.
Yeah, because everybody, these kids, this fucking generation through, they got brain rot. They got fucking depression. They're all through. They got that juicy juice inside them. They're all done, man.
Their mental capacity is not there. Jake is the number one people that are not ready for this age to end.
Yep.
Now you have made a statement. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise,
right.
Like a gang battle, Ireland gangs,
right.
little tiny fights in the streets, knives and swords.
Right.
See, Jake is ready for a knife battle, but you're bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Right.
And you're trying to think that you're gonna beat a man that was given this blessing for the ultimate showdown? Jake is actually so-called black, brown, Latinos, and Native American men, women, and children are not ready for prophecy.
At all.
You're not ready. It says,
It's like it, bro. And that's why it says, speak down to the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Because Jake not ready, but you got the Lord. That's showing mercy and compassion. The Lord is sending men out here to tell you. But yeah, Jake's still not going to take heed,
I've seen this video of this water buffalo, this so-called black woman getting this creature of hair put on her head, and she's past due, like she looks terrible, right? And then she's like being short with a man on the phone, paying, like trying to show her attention, and she's basically, nigga, please.
Wow.
So let this bitch keep getting the back of her neck burned with a hot coal, okay? Because it's about to get hotter, okay? Just like the elder Manat Zakba said, we don't care about 2/3. I don't care what happens to you.
Right, we don't.
I don't care what happens to you, okay?
You don't.
Oh, real quick. It says, for every battle, Isaiah 9:5, for every battle of warriors with confused noise, a nigga, right?
World cries, horses, name, right?
Yeah. And it says, and garments rolled in blood, like Ricky's shirt,
Yep.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
I ain't saying this battle, but it's a particular prophetic war that's going to be nuclear. World War III.
And then guess what? Isaiah 9:19, through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire, and no man shall spare his brother.
That reminds me of 2 Peter 3 when it says all the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Everything you see is going to burn up, man.
Everything that Jake is being occupied with.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Twitch, stream, basketball.
Yep.
Okay? The microphone.
Yep.
Okay, all the little distractions that has Jake in this low level. Because when you look, this is just all low level.
Very low
Look at Dubai right now. Look at Japan streets. This is the lowest fucking continent on planet Earth.
Yeah.
This is a scumbag's paradise.
Yes.
That's why it says spice it well in Ezekiel 35.
That's right.
And the Lord is about to burn this whole shit up,
Right.
man. All of these people in it too.
That's right.
And people are flammable. The shit that you eat is flammable. Did you know Mountain Dew is flammable?
Yeah.
Do you know that if you needed to start a fire, you could use Dorito chips, but
Right.
then you ingest that shit, and you bow a knee to a woman that wants to eat that? You had something, bro? And you got something? What you got?
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3.
The spirit fucking shut that little
Seen that shit, right?
fucking hoblet right up, man.
Fucking hobgoblin.
Yeah, that motorcycle.
Yeah.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 52. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us.
The heathen are assembled against us. You ever see like that where those Russians they kick their legs and they're like la la. It's like that. Like they're literally locked arms for against you.
Yep.
Black people are not ready for what these nations are gonna do to them. They're not gonna say that your black life matters.
Right.
They're gonna run through you, man.
Yes.
They're gonna run through Jake, like legitimately put a hole so big they could walk through you. Like for real.
Yep.
Like the black woman is about to be a crash dummy, man. Okay? Our precious little, not the black babies.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He said, not the black babies. Yes, even black babies. Diapers. It's about to get so bad out here. And Jake, there's no urgency. There's no fear. There's no spirit of condemnation upon them, you know? Because shit, what this truth will do, it'll turn a gay nigga straight.
Yeah.
You won't like men's no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I bet a nigga straighten up in that day.
Yep.
I bet your ass straighten up in that day. You know? Keep going, bro. And these heathens, they don't give a shit about you. They'll eat in front of you. They'll glorify in front of you. You know? They'll throw trash and want you to pick it up in front of them. They'll kick your child in front of you. You got to understand, we're at war. These nations are a national group of people designed to be against you, Yasharallah.
Yep.
They're against you, man.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 52. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us
For war.
to destroy us.
To destroy us.
Wow.
They want to destroy you, man. They want to destroy your existence. They want to destroy the family unit. They want to destroy everything about you. That's why now is the time, we got to lock in. We got to be in a different zone. We got to be in a different mode. You got to prioritize what you think is important, and can that help you in the day that's been no day like it? Can we get Daniel 12 and 2? You got something, brother?
Yeah, I got a few. Psalms 14 and verse 4, it says, have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge?
What is it, Psalms what?
14 and verse 4.
Let's start at 1.
Got you. Psalms 14 and verse 1, it says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
So Esau, Edom, with the covering cast, being the wicked that was given to earth, he could say that the earth is 1 billion years old and have authority.
Yeah.
Then he could go into church and say, it's 7 days old. Right? I'm the Pope. Then he does, you know,
I'm the Pope.
that nigga
Nope.
Trump, that nigga Trump was doing the Capleton shit.
Yeah, you seen that shit?
You know? I'm just showing you. I'm not teaching
Right.
my finger. We don't believe in that shit.
He's a Masonic puppet.
Yeah, he's just a puppet. Okay, but read that one more time.
Huh.
So Esau has the ability to say that evolution is true and God is true.
Well, it goes back to the scriptures. 2 Corinthians 4, it says that he's the God of this world.
Yep.
Because the Lord showed him favor at this time.
Yep.
You know, so, but like we said earlier, Esau is being used as one of the main tools for prophecy. You know?
Yep.
If not, where and who is he?
Yep. And who funded it?
Right.
You talk about the Renaissance. Well, who funded it?
Right.
I wonder if we put in certain names like, you know, Lord Rothschild Renaissance.
Right.
You know?
Right. Psalms 14 and 1, the fool has said in his heart.
Because I like to use Google and Chat GPT for more than just the NBA Finals.
Right.
You know? Even though if I look it up, but it's like, I like instead of you just sitting there wanting to cherry text and love with a
Right.
chick, I'm texting Chat GPT.
Right.
And it'll be like, that's a good question. It'll be like, that's actually a good question. Let's talk about it. You know? We're actually looking up vital information pertaining to the situation that we're involved in. Okay? The average Jake woman is trying to figure out the next child support check. The average Jake male is trying to figure out the next ass to grab.
Yep.
Okay? A video to review, some podcast. It's like, I can't even express how through Jake is right now, specifically in this appointed time that we're living in collectively as creatures on earth.
Yeah. This is the worst condition our people have been in ever.
Ever.
Even in child slavery, they weren't this bad.
Ever.
But the scriptures say, how long shall you love simplicity?
And I see why the Lord put us in slavery. Because Jake is evil. Okay? It's all, even within nations. All nations have a hierarchy within themselves. Look at Esau. You got the double, two-time loser Edomites, middle class, upper class, elite. Even with Jake. You got bottom barrel Jakes, middle class Jakes, and trying to be anointed Jakes, like amongst Satan. You know?
Yep.
That's why in the time of when we were ruling in the so-called Dark Ages, you had portions of our people that ruled England trying to take out us who ruled in Scotland. That's why there was wars and feuds and fights. Right. That's why we sold ourselves into slavery. When we escaped from the Roman persecution and fled to the west coast of Africa, even though other places like Japan, things of that nature, who do you think was selling Jake to Esau? Higher up Jakes that sold lower level Jakes. You know? It wasn't just him.
All right. And it says, Psalms 14 and 1, they are corrupt, they have done abominable works, there is none that doeth good.
Yeah, there ain't none that do good. The only good Edomite is a dead Edomite.
Right.
Keep going.
The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek the Most High.
Oh, don't it say he sheweth his word unto Jacob and not so any other people?
Right, he has not dealt so with any other nation.
We're the only ones that the Lord is dealing with.
That's right. And it reads, verse 3, they are all gone aside, they are all together become filthy. Right, you got fucking heathen. That's why Edris said, how long shall this endure? You got heathens ruling over us, you know, because like we was watching the Dallas camp last night, and the elders were saying how, you know, these nations have no wisdom. Like they have all the power and money, but they have no wisdom. You see? Yeah,
like Japan has the ability to have a clean street.
Right.
They have actually, but then look at what they feed you: octopus. You know,
Right.
eels.
Right.
Fucking the eels eeling its way out of the water.
Right.
And he bites it, and then the Edomite vagabond. It's like, I gotta do it too.
I'll have two of those.
Yeah.
They're heathens. Come on. They're heathens for a reason.
Well, that's why it says that will be your wisdom in the sight of the nations.
That spirit, I was thinking that Deuteronomy.
Yeah, is that 6 and 4 or 7 and 6?
6 and 4. I
4?
believe Deuteronomy 6 and 4 or 4 and 6.
You're right.
And I was thinking about the one in Isaiah 2. You know?
What one?
It says that they shall
Isaiah 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Isaiah. Deuteronomy. Don't say it too loud.
You might see purple.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right, and that's why the Lord is going to give us fame back, you know, forever. Pursuing the Zephaniah 3, which to 18, because right now you got everybody, you got these nations. Esau's famous for what he does, Moab, so on and so forth. But us at the bottom of the barrel, not knowing that we are the Jews of the Most High. Soon, that's why it says why do the heathen rage?
Yep.
You know, because everybody think China or Russia
imagine a vain thing.
Right, the water. They imagine a vain thing. They think that these next superpower heathen countries are going to be next to the rulership. But no.
Yep.
That's why us being the hopeful elect, us being the house of David, we believe that we are the glitch in Esau's matrix.
And that's why we constantly push to be in order,
right?
Because this is a standing governmental body,
right?
Which is prophetically known as the house of David being rebuilt. So this is why the Holy Spirit gets on our people to be in order, because it's like, look at what you're showing the nations,
right?
Which is 2/3. So it's really 2/3 have been used as a distraction to make heathens think that they could overtake us.
Exactly. And then when they see 2/3, they think that for all of the nation.
Yep.
You see?
This is what we had in derision.
Right.
That's why I said the other day, why don't other nations' women treat their men how our women treat us?
Right.
You got to look at these things.
Right.
Like really, everybody has a role. Everyone has a part to play. So if you're not playing like a center, maybe the best damn center you ever met. Like, you know what I mean? Like you may feel a pinky toe.
Right.
But guess what? If you don't have that pinky toe, your walk is off.
You limping.
A ligament.
Right.
You know what I mean? A ligament.
Man.
Shit, lose a toenail and see how you feel.
Yeah, man.
Oh, damn, you got some tissue?
Yeah.
That shit affects your day.
Hell yeah.
So every piece of the body's important. So play your role, man. Play your part.
Play your part.
Damn.
Back in Psalms 14 and verse 3, they are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one.
So read that to a Christian when they try to proclaim their hypocrisy.
Right.
What is hypocrisy? The sin of pretending to be good.
Yep.
You hypocrite. Okay, that's why we get on Jake, because Isaiah said, sent to a hypocritical nation.
Right.
So Jake is pretending to be good.
Right.
Esau pretended to be good. And then Eve said, I'm the baddest.
Ah, man.
Right? So everybody, man, leave us the fuck alone, man.
Please.
Leave us alone. We're going to be over here building. Like what my man say in Paid in Full, when that undercover cop came up, he said, hey, man, me and my man are building now.
Yep.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Like at the time of Nehemiah.
Yep.
Leave us alone. We're building. We don't want to build with you. We don't want to build with you, man.
Home with the builders.
Yep. And Jake is in such a spirit of a handout. All he wants to do is beg. While you begging, we building.
That's right.
All you want to do is beg. Reparation. I want some red, you know? Like, you got to really look at it. Like, when you really look at the context of it, man.
Just leave that.
Then leave.
Like Esau says, you can.
Yeah.
And I was reading that last night, Sirach 39. It says, don't live. Or it's either Sirach 39 or 40, but it says, don't live a beggar's life. You know, you got it. If you're gonna do that, then just die.
Which the etymology for the word beggar really goes into asking for alms, as in for the truth.
Ah.
When you actually look at the word beggar, it actually means for like us constantly asking y'all for money.
Oh yeah.
Like them other wicked weird niggas that be like, yo, I'm in a bind, Nate.
I'm sorry.
You know, asking for money.
Man. In verse 4.
We don't ask for money. We just ask y'all to be in order.
Right.
All we ask is for y'all to be in order.
All right.
You know?
Just like the man that was lame, he asked Peter for his money, but Peter said, "I ain't got money, but I have the name of the Lord."
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And that's the only. That's what you need.
And then
That's
money.
all, you know, that and faith.
Money was used to stop men from teaching the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
So what do you really need more, money or the name?
Name. Or no, real quick, Psalm 14:4, land back on what he said earlier about the nations. It says, "Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread?"
Yeah. Your ass is eating up out here with Esau, man. Esau done ate your ass up. Esau done got our people, man. And then he still, and when you look at it, Esau is so low and base that he needs you to be through so he looks like he's excellent.
Right.
But when you really look at it, like Jake is threatened by the business world of Babylon.
Yeah.
But all business is Babel. It's just Babel. It's just Babel. Everybody's a directional, operational manager.
Yeah.
It's Babel. Just like he's going to use Babel to make you take the mark. The neurological expedition of the system proves that substantial rates of your heart could be monitored by this device. What?
A pacemaker, nigga?
What? See what I'm saying? When you really look at it.
Man.
And that's why he said, you saying a lot of words I don't understand, so I'm going to take that as a threat.
Right.
You should. What you got, bro?
Let's see.
I keep going while you get
Okay.
Psalms 14:4 says, who eat up my people as they eat bread,
Yep.
and call not upon the Lord.
Yep. So Jake is a dinner plate to eat him.
Yeah.
The delectable Negro.
Yeah.
Jake
Seriously.
is a dinner plate to eat him. Okay? And across the board with it too. And then you got a lot of our people that are set up to keep our people being fed as a flock to the slaughter. Okay.
2nd Ezra 15 and verse 10. I don't know if brother got something. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter." I'll start up a little bit. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 8. "I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit."
This shit's about to shut down, man. Why? Oh, and then you just had that so-called Amalek couple get put down in D.C.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yep.
Which you would say that's a coincidence, because the actual definition of coincidence means for things to fall together.
Right.
Okay? So that is a coincidence. So expect some domestic teas, man.
Yeah.
You got to start expecting that. Then the culprit name was Elias,
Yep.
which was set forth for Elijah.
Elijah.
You know? And then Rodriguez, so that's Lincoln Jake. See? So Jake is getting ready to be modeled as a new T, and then Jake so through, they're going to blame it on us.
Yeah. And you notice how Esau, he's building up a report. Because it's like breadcrumbs here, then there, then like 1 month here, then like next year it'd be a couple incidences. That's why Esau works.
Yep.
And then he can build that report up into one big report.
Category. He's categorizing you.
Yep.
He's labeling you. He's using numbers to identify you. So he has the right babble that he puts together, and people say, shit,
Yeah.
they probably did do it.
Yep.
You know?
Back in 2nd Ezra 15 and 8, and it says, "Which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, in which they wickedly exercise themselves."
Yeah, and then you also got Esau sending agents.
Yep.
Do you know hey Kradazaba, did you know the first female FBI undercover agent, guess what nationality she was? Yep. A Judite. The very first FBI undercover female agent was a Judite. I gotta look into it, but it sounds like it goes together. But the point is, the agents can be male and female, man.
Man.
So we're gotta be locked in now more than ever.
And they use a woman of our nation.
Yup.
So what does that tell you, man?
And guess why they chose to use a woman?
Wow.
Because they said in that incident it would be more beneficial to use a woman because a woman will be unexpected to be undercover.
Right.
Follow you around.
Yep.
Find out, see what stores you like to go in, see what you like and what you don't like.
Yep.
And then come up to you and be like, hey.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I want to learn.
Yeah.
This bitch smoking a fucking bomb,
Yeah.
riding in a fucking '98 Honda. Yo, you Western women are so unattractive.
True.
You act like little dirty brothers. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got your little brother.
Yeah.
Fucking socks you pick it up and it don't fold. Like, bro, what do you do? They're like little fucking babies.
Wiping boogers on the couch.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like,
I'm
we go to
serious.
a woman's bathroom. Like,
That's serious.
go into their cars.
You go into any
bro.
respectable business, the woman's restroom is the dirtiest.
Yes.
Okay? This bitch was smoking a fucking bong.
You know, but that's why it says there is no wickedness. What does it say?
No wisdom and wickedness?
No, not that one. Sirach 26 when it says a wickedness is as little compared to the wickedness of a woman.
Yeah.
Meaning that anything that she does is just like, it's
Not a big
like,
deal.
Yeah, it's like, man, she can do it. It's like, she don't give a fuck, man.
You gotta point her out, brothers. You gotta point her out. And women will tell you that. She'll say, if I'm doing something, check me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just fickle.
Wickedness is top tier.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, she's the she's the elder in evil.
Yeah. and going back to Eve.
Yeah.
You know, come on, man.
Well, it says
The scriptures give us the outline.
it said that she was deceived, and that word
Right.
deceived means to cheat or to beguile.
Woo-hoo.
No.
Man, and speaking of beguile, let's keep going with
Let's
this.
go.
And it says,
Let's go.
verse 8, and it says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me.
Hey, all you brothers and sisters, man, rest with us.
Right.
Rest with Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. We're a body. We're a spiritual family. You where you at, where we at, and this where we meet at. What Ice Cube say, I'm gonna be where I be and I'm at where I'm at.
Yeah, right.
So y'all at where we at it together. That's all it is, man. It's a beautiful body being built up. You'll have a nigga try to come up to you and try to whisper in your ear to try to sway you. Then you have a wicked nigga woman come up and try to sway her.
Yep.
You gotta learn how to practice being holy and set apart.
That's
Because
right.
the masses majority of public people are wrong. If you're not holding anything, I know we said Daniel 12:2. Can you get Genesis 6 and I think 4 or 7? The thoughts of them was evil continually.
That's a great
All you think is evil. All you think is evil.
Spirit, the hypocrite, see?
Oh, see? The joy of the hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, brother? Read that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 4.
Let's start from one and break it down. I want
Yeah.
to break
That's a
break
good
something
chapter.
down. They said there's a time to build, and a time to refrain from building.
We'll hold this to the next.
Yeah. You just want to break it down real quick.
Genesis 6 and 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth,
Yup.
and daughters were born up unto them, that the sons of the Most High
Right, these sons of the Most High came from the lineage of Adam, Seth, and so on, Noah, Shemites, right? In the midst of other heathens too. Wait, let me get myself together. Not Shemites, because Noah didn't have Shem yet, excuse me. But Adamites. They came from Adamites, then Sethites, and when you follow that lineage, this is why there was in particular men called sons of God.
Right.
That's what I meant to say.
the sons of the Most High
Yep.
saw the daughters of men.
Yeah, because remember, man was created on what? The 5th day? Men were created on the 5th day, but then a man and woman were created. And then the Lord breathed the breath of life into this in particular Adamite, who was who? Yahweh Shai, and that's what excelled him over the rest of the other men and women, because it says that
He like increased the wisdom.
yes, but because that's why it said in Deuteronomy 4 and 6, this will be your wisdom in the sight of the nations. So Yahweh Shai, as Adam, was like, don't eat that frog. Beware that Ariyah.
Right.
That's, what is it, a bear, a zab,
Right.
Watch out for those Zabium. Like,
Right, it makes sense because it says the birth of life enter Adam.
yeah.
So it makes sense.
Well, the first Adam and the last Adam.
Right.
So Adam having that wisdom, that's what set him apart from the other nations. But then after Adam came and went, his lineage lived on,
Right.
and then now you had the sons of God in the midst of heathens, all right, and they find sexy ass daughters, you know. You got some fine ass heathen women, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fine ass heathen women.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to start a GMS Philippines,
Yeah.
which America is
Yeah.
now. I believe America acquired the Philippines after the Spanish War. Let me fact check myself. You got it, bro.
And it,
Did America establish shit? Read that again.
and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of the Most High.
See, yep. Yes, Babylon obtained the Philippines as a result of the Spanish-American War.
Ah.
And
That's
some
fire.
of the Jake men stayed behind and had children with those women
Yep.
and fought off, you know, because they were angry because of what happened. So they fought off the
Edomites.
yeah, they fought off the Edomites, and that's why there's Jake
Spanish.
mingled upon.
Yep. In the Philippines.
Yeah, the
Makes sense.
Philippines.
Well, you got the one church out there. It says Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, yep.
You seen them?
Yep.
They're actually Jakes in the Philippines that look like Philippians. No, they look like Philippines.
I believe it.
You know, and I can show you. They actually are calling on the
Yeah,
names.
literally calling
and they're
the
in the
names.
street teaching.
Yeah.
So, man, I gotta go out
Look
there.
at,
I was watching the video and I heard him playing James Brown. I'm like,
Yeah.
See?
Look at Manny Pacquiao.
See? Oh, good, great point. But my point is, I wanted to fact check ourselves. But look at the edifications that are coming out just from the prophecy being fulfilled in Daniel 7.
Right.
Look what the Spanish
Right.
War did to establish Babylon. This proves, like you said, the precepts gives the outline. This proves this is the truth, man.
Right.
This is the actual truth. The information that we're given through the Holy Spirit. You don't hear this collectively broken down this easily in a nutshell, just like that. That's
Right.
simple.
Right.
Even high school didn't do that.
Hell no. Remember that one time a few years ago, the high school teacher, history teacher,
Yep.
he didn't know that Alexander the Great was in the Bible,
Yep.
but he taught history. And the Bible is the main history book, past, present, and future. He said he's in the Bible.
And guess what? Guess why he had to leave camp? Because his woman was calling.
Yep.
So watch it.
Yep.
All right? Sometimes you got to let her ass wait.
Yeah.
Okay? Let her wait. You always
she
got to
will
fucking
wait.
run to her.
I'm back, bro. Sorry.
It's all good. You don't always got to run to her. You know?
Right.
You got that battery? And keep reading, brother.
Oh yeah. Oh, might be in my pocket. My bad, me touching.
No, you good, bro.
Genesis 6 and 2,
Yep.
that the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Yeah, so much that we got to refrain from being on social media with they fair ass. I'm like, shit. Because right now, it's vain.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I think a while back I was talking to you about there's no point for us to lust after women we're never gonna meet.
Exactly. They don't know we exist.
You know, so it don't matter, brother. It's like
Yeah.
it's cool. I get you got your the thighs and this and blah blah blah.
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
but at the end of the day, we're gonna get better. We're
Yeah.
gonna have better than that. Okay, so we're patiently waiting for a block to explode on.
It said Yahushua said that we shall receive 100-fold.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like when the Lord took Job's daughters from him, it said he got his daughters back, and they were the most gorgeous daughters ever in all the land. So how much more our wives?
Woman too.
You know, great, yeah.
He got a new woman.
Oh, see, woman, sons, cattle, everything. You know, that's why the scriptures speak about the patience of Job. You know.
Yep. Which I was just reading Job today in a lesson about don't let the box you in. Because even Job's woman told him, why do you still remain your integrity?
Right.
Just curse your God and die. That was Satan speaking through her.
Yeah.
That was legitimately Satan speaking through her.
Yeah.
Satan can sound like a feminine voice too.
Yeah. And what proves that was Satan because right prior to that verse, the Most High Yahweh he made a bet with Satan. He said, I bet you that he won't do this and do that. Then the Lord sent Satan down there to test him
Yep.
through his woman.
And guess what Satan said? Bet.
yeah.
We walked away to go do it.
Right. And so that proves that yes, that was Satan. So man, this is a spiritual battle that we're in.
Let's go.
That verse 2, that the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men.
Yeah,
that they were,
before birth control, all right? Before all this fucking Nile River, when you can actually pop and not fucking have anxiety of how much it's gonna cost to raise your son in prison.
Oh, man.
Keep going.
that they were fair,
Beautiful.
and they took them wives of all.
They didn't riz.
Right.
These were sons of God. They had power. Okay? Like, exactly. And they run to it. They want it. They'll bow. Women, listen. Women don't treat you how you're supposed to be treated because they're carnal, so they don't see your spiritual glory. But you got women that you got man, the bitches let Rick James lick their cheeks. You remember that he was making a joke? Just go watch women reacting to them little ass Beatles.
Remember the movie Pootie Tang? She came into his door. He put a bowl of milk out, and that bitch drank the bowl.
See?
Come on, man.
So real authority's coming,
That's
man.
right.
But in the day of thy power.
Exactly.
So the power's coming, and everything that comes with power will come after it. So don't fret.
Exactly.
That's why we're on a mission. So we are admonishing each other like, hey, that's cool, whatever you get, but that ain't the goal.
Not the end all be all.
It's not the glory.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And they took them wives, verse 2.
Yeah, come here.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
Yup, come here, man.
They chose.
Come on, man. Mike Tyson,
Right.
sipping some yayan, knocking heathens out, ruling villages, and you don't think those fine specimens ain't gonna be up under him? And then she's gonna produce what? God-like children. Keep going.
Damn. Man.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men,
Yeah.
for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
So before that, we lived longer. So why is it hard to believe we'll live forever if the Lord put a time limit on life, but life was lifing?
Right.
So a time limit got put on us
Right.
at one point. But before that point, we lived hundreds of years old.
Man.
So if he could take time off, he could put time on.
Yeah. You have men in the scriptures that live to 900 years old.
Exactly.
Come on, man. So living forever is not far-fetched.
Forever's coming.
Yeah. That's why Apostle Paul said, behold, I show you a mystery. Come on, man. We're going to live forever.
Oh, death, where's thou sting?
Right, man.
We've died. We've already died enough. We've already died enough, brothers.
Yes.
If we be those men, since we've been sent down in these chains of darkness, we've died long enough.
Yes.
So now we live for the Lord, man.
Right.
While being dead to this world.
Right.
While you people try to find a life in the valley of death
That's right.
and shadows, man.
Right.
We'll see if your ass can live in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Keep going.
4. Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
Giants means Nephilim. Nephilim means fallen. Fallen from first estate. You know? So miss us with all that bullshit. Were men bigger back then? Yeah. But not all that giant and ha. You know, shit that niggas come up with after the pinky longness of the blunt left. You know?
Oh, goodness.
Once it gets down to there, now the niggas like, you know what? I've been thinking.
Once the nigga say that, just walk away.
You good?
And also after that, when the sons of the Most High came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
You know what that makes me think of? It just came to my mind how, and I believe it was World War II when it said they had the seal of God. So it's World War I.
Yeah.
But it's going into how like your great grandfather, he survived that war to have you.
Right, exactly.
So it's like their legacy. They lived so that you could be born.
Right.
You know. So these men, these sons of God, pop these heathen women, and those heathen women produce sons of God.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Which proves when we say if this Israelite man goes to the Philippines and pops that brown sugar, you know what I mean? You're gonna have some mocha coming out.
Yeah. That proves that we don't need our women of our nation to have Israelites men.
Yep.
Because ultimately they come from us.
Israelite men only make Israelite children.
That's right.
women hold the Israelite babies.
Right.
That's why it's a blessing of you as a sister that you're humbled and you believe in this truth. Now you're going to have the glory of being of the first fruits to bear the first generation of Israelites that live forever. You know?
Keep going, Rajaba.
Because this place is trying to take our nuts from us, man.
Yeah.
Remember that movie Django? He had that motorcycle Jamie Foxx upside down,
Yeah.
and they was about to take his rod, or his things, man. Yup, Shaq, LeBron are Giants, Kevin Hart, exactly. Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Because that point going into Giants being great, notable,
Right.
you know?
Not actual.
Michael Jackson's.
Right, exactly.
Michael Jackson beat up Tupac.
Yeah.
How Michael Jackson, who was portrayed as effeminate,
Yeah.
beat up a nigga who actually was effeminate? Tupac was a faggot, man.
Yeah.
I don't know no straight nigga that ever laid in a tub naked with gold on. That nigga, you know what I mean? That nigga was always fighting for women. Only effeminate niggas are constantly siding for women. Keep going. And that's why women love him. That's why women always flock around a pudgy Mo nigga.
Yeah. Because he one of the bitches.
Because he's one of the bitches.
Yep. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth,
Yep.
and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart
What?
was only evil
Continually. So when you look out, that's the point. When you look out and about, the average person is only thought is evil. Man, woman, and child. That's why, you know, me, I think there's such a precious innocence with children.
Yeah.
So it vexes me when they target those babies.
Right.
Because them babies come out as a clean slate. So then the first thing you do is you fucking hit them with that venom in their leg, and now they're crying. Then you give them the K, you know, the vitamin K,
Yep.
so you can circumcise them instead of waiting to the 8th day, you piece of shit. Give them a birth code, a birth certificate. You got them locked in the system.
Yeah, man. You give them fucking. Man.
So this is why we're in the days of Noah. It's only evil continually.
Yeah.
Everyone's thought is evil, selfish, and individualism.
Yep.
All right, your best friend gonna turn into your worst enemy when you niggas gotta split a fucking bean pie. You know? Oh, and a woman, in a famine, imagine how that woman gonna act. When you go on a date, we're going on a date. What she always want? Some of your food.
Yep.
You know?
This is
And another thing, I got this lesson cooking up. Hey, when you looking for a woman, you should be, if you would be, you should be, can she sew?
right.
You know, would she be a good mother?
Yep.
And would she feed you before herself and her dying son?
Yep.
Like what's her name did for Elijah?
Right.
You know?
How will she treat you?
Yep.
You know?
These are real. This is
man.
real talking points that majority of these other Israelite camps ain't talking about, because they'll lose that congregation, which proves that congregation ain't a good congregation. It's all wood. Hey, this should be about silver, gold, precious stones. You know,
Right.
The widow, right?
That's right.
Keep going.
2 Corinthians 15 and verse let's see here, 8. Going back to what you said about Genesis, it says, "Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me."
Yeah, why are we innocent? Because of the blood of Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Okay, so what cup are you sipping from?
Right.
The cup of Babylon or the cup of Yahweh Shai?
Right.
Because either way you're going to sip. He said, oh, you're going to drink. And he said that to James, the son of Zebedee, and I believe that was the same James that got put to death in Acts.
Yeah.
So he had that conversation with him, and then he was one of the first disciples to get executed.
Yeah.
And they said, like that was like, whoa, like they looked at themselves as untouchable. But in this walk, you could be untouchable, but still get touched. That's why Isaiah 57:1 says, though we die amongst men, they don't realize what just took place though.
Right.
You may think we died, but we in the heaven still cursing your ass out.
Right.
That's Revelations. How long, Lord?
Right.
You know?
And also-
And it says the dead shall rise first.
That's right. Like the one it says in the Wisdom of Solomon 3, it says, though they die in the sight of men, it may be misery, but they are in peace.
These people ain't nothing.
Yeah, man.
They're a drop of a bucket. They're nothing.
Like in Job, where the Most High told Satan he could do what he wanted to Job, but he just don't take his life.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
Keep going.
2 Ezra 15 and verse 8, and it says,
You got Judah being roused up.
yeah,
Judah's being roused up.
yeah,
Jake is collectively singing Born by the River.
yeah.
They're taking pictures with folding chairs in front of Nottoway, what the fuck, plantation.
Oh yeah,
That
the not
woman
away.
right up inside that barn, Mississippi.
Yep, the girl. Right, you talking about that?
Yeah, was
She's through.
yeah, saying some racist
Yeah.
stuff. And they beat
Yep.
him up and took the
Oh,
clothes
oh
off
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
locked
yeah,
him.
yeah. And then guess what? You just had a tree fall on a Confederate museum and destroyed all the artifacts.
Ooh, oh, Lord, yeah, about something.
So, hey, it's over,
Man,
man.
the Lord is showing signs, man.
It's over.
It's
Keep
all
going.
done. And it says, verse 2 Ezra 15 and 8,
Huh?
it says, and the souls of the just complain
Oh, we
continually.
not complaining.
Yes, yes.
This is a false image. We're the gods. Your God Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Right. Right.
He's looking. So we gotta show him. We didn't say he was looking and we didn't look back and say, check if he got fringes first.
Right.
Right?
Fuck out of here, man. The Lord didn't design us like that.
Right.
The Lord ain't anoint us to be like that. You damn devils.
Right.
You demons. You den of vipers. Fuck out of here. All the things our people been. I've really been trying to work on that. But all the things our people be going through, and you wanna try to hit them with this law before the Lord, because I get it. We all are law-abiding Israelites, but to first thing you hit Jake with is the law. Come on, man.
Come on, bro. And it says, 2 Ezra 15 and verse 9, and therefore said the Lord,
Power's coming.
yes, right.
Power's coming, man.
Right.
Get ready, brothers. Power's coming. The Lord, you can feel low. You trying to get right, and the Lord just snaps. Boom. You know, like I'll give you a testimony, cause we work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have times where you get into a little slump,
Yeah.
and you're praying. You know, you fast or want to fast. There's things you're trying to do, and then one day it just clicks. Now you just back at it. Now you're feeling stronger. Now you're seeing more results. So the Lord is just gonna flip a switch, man. He's just gonna flip a switch on us. Power's coming, because this enemy's about to come in like a flood. You know, with everything going on, you got that video game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. That shit was set in 2025, and it started off with a trade war between U.S. and China. And then guess what? One of the first missions was in Myanmar.
Oh yeah, out there in Thailand.
And then the second mission was guess where? In India.
Oh,
And you
shit.
had the Indian-Pakistan
Wow.
conflict.
Yup.
So those will be conspiracies, but we really don't take too many conspiracies unless they line up with the prophecy.
Right.
But you can see a predicted programming that he places amongst the public of people.
But that's how Esau does. You know, he puts it in movies and
Yep.
books and video games, TV shows.
So
you know.
what I want to say is, yeah, exactly. They call it the method of revelation.
Right, yep.
So what I'm saying though is that in this game, like okay, San Andreas, guess what that shit said? Big Smoke, he said, like the book says, we blessed and cursed.
Yeah.
Why you
Yup.
saying that in San Andreas, bro?
Right, right.
But I gotta kill a fellow black man
Right.
to gain respect. You know the sound? Dun, dun, dun. I'm just shooting another black man because he's wearing purple, and now my respect meter gets higher.
Damn.
And then in it, he said, I'm hungry. Man can't live off bread alone. Shit, I tried it. So it's like, bro, they're showing you it. They're mocking you.
Come on, man.
So, anyways, back to the one game, bro. They got invisible cloaks. They got the drones. They got machines.
Yep.
So they're about to wage extreme military war on Jake, man.
Yep.
And that's gonna be the smashing machine. So if we don't have power, we'll be devoured.
Exactly.
If we don't have power, we would be devoured, man. Because you got Daniel 12:2 still, right? Can you read that real quick before we go back into that? Because it said they cry.
Yeah.
So read that while the brother gets it, please.
2 Ezra 15 and verse 9, and therefore.
And niggas just watching power. But guess what? You are watching power.
Right.
You watching the prince of power. The princes of power. You got it.
Well, me and her brother.
You, brother.
Second
Slack it, my fault.
Ezra 15 and 9, it says, and therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them
Yep.
and receive
I will what?
It says, I will surely avenge them
Yep.
and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Yep. And that's us. He's gonna bring vengeance. So now from there, if you want, you can get 2 Thessalonians, rest with us.
Gotcha.
And now you read Daniel 12 and 2, which it goes even in further about there was never a day like it since the conception of nations.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.
Salakia.
That's my fault.
Salakia, verse 1, 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, and
Maya Ka'ala.
Ma'aka'Allah shall stand up,
Yep.
the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Yeah, don't it say he has angels round about you?
Yes.
That's why Satan tried to tempt Yahushua and said that they'll have charge over you. And he was quoting Psalms 91, but Satan used out of context. See, demons use scriptures, but out of context. That's how they get you. Satan and demons know scriptures too, but they'll use them out of context for their own endeavor, for their own deception. That's why blessed is he that readeth, you know? That's why Yahushua flipped it and said, but it also says don't tempt the Lord, which proves the Bible doesn't contradict itself. Your understanding does.
Right.
Your understanding of the Bible, because it's sealed unto you. So you try to take certain scriptures and then you base your whole cult following off that, and we've used one precept to knock it down, and you refuse it, and now you say, well, it's not contradicting itself. You just won't let go of the ideology or the ism that you think is true.
Right.
So watch your isms.
And what's the term they call it? Cognitive dissonance.
Which is demons.
Yeah.
Which is demons. Which you'll have a lot of. You know who mainly has that? Women. When you bring
Yeah.
order, when you bring order, they call it controlling. But then they want to control you, but that's out of order. Make that shit make sense. But this is Babel. This is Babylon. It's supposed to bring confusion. But Yahweh Shemel Shai is not the author of confusion. This is why good is set against evil.
That's right.
And this shit is evil and it stinks, man. You got that, bro?
Well, it makes sense. It's called the Valley of the Shadow of Death.
Yeah.
Shit is low, man.
And light is coming into the world. But
Right.
men love darkness. So niggas is creeping in the shadows with fringes on. Sister, come here.
Damn.
Come here.
But not knowing that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
And guess what? They just called over an agent. I just did a video. You got these 2 Jake women that are detectives, I think in like Miami or something, and they basically post on TikTok their daily routine. Them bitches are actually detectives.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They're actually detectives.
Yeah, yep.
The diva duo, which diva means demon.
Yep.
It's an Elamite demon.
They show you what's that, the movie, Indiana Jones.
She's an agent?
No, about the demon. Diva.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because, yep, he was Elam land. Keep going, brother.
This is book of Daniel 12, verse 1. And at that time.
At what time? The time of Jacob's trouble. The time of the end. The time of Esau and Jacob's beginning that followeth. The time of no day like it. You know? The time where men shall be as travailing as women. So if men is acting like a woman, what's a woman gonna be acting like?
Whew.
Little girls. But it's okay because we are spiritual fathers. We the husbands. All right? So that's why Isaiah 4 and 1 is going to take place. See? Keep going.
And at that time shall Ma'aka'Allah stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people.
So why ain't he standing up for Moab? Why ain't he going to stand up for Edomites? So does Christians accept the angel Michael? The only Michael you accept is John Travolta when he played that shit in that movie. Y'all remember that?
Oh, Phenomenon.
No. He played Michael too.
Oh, okay, excuse me. I misheard you.
Yep. He played a movie. John Travolta played the movie Michael. Now I gotta show you it.
Yeah.
And then he'd go around women, and his pheromones would be like cookies, and they all would flock
What
to
the
him.
fuck?
Yeah, bro, it's
Wow.
fucking dogmas. We're in Babylon.
That's definitely dogma.
We're in Babylon, bro. Read that again. Watch. John Travolta, Michael. We just want to prove it. It says prove. Look, prove all things. Look at this nigga. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, and he had wings and he had a trench coat. Okay.
Wow.
Yep. Look at this shit.
See, that's why the fear of the Lord is gonna come back on earth, man.
And let's
You know,
prove.
and
Sorry.
it's like
You got it.
I was just saying, because people don't fear, like doing shit like that. You don't fear, man.
Perfect.
You know, if you feared the Most High, you wouldn't take that role. You know, but here it is. You know, we are in the land of the wicked.
Yep.
So, you know.
Let me get this precept. Just for edification, let's hold everything,
Okay.
and let's go to Ezekiel 1.
Nigga had wings.
Well, we gonna mount up with wings
Right.
as eagles. We gonna fly too.
Right.
See, Jake, I gotta stay fly. No, we want to really fly.
Right.
We're gonna really fly. You know? See, Jake, they're just Gentile. The Lord's not dealing with them. You know? It's a scary thing.
Yeah.
When you go to Ezekiel, the first chapter, it actually refers to the angels as so-called black men.
That's right.
All right? Blacks only, right? Now, this is Ezekiel 1 and I think 8, just to prove the point. Ezekiel 1 and 8, and I guess, you know what? I'll start at 7. I could start at 4, but let me just start at 7. It says, 6. Okay, 5. It says, also, out of the mist there came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Yep.
So angels are men when it comes to the heavenly angels, even though angel just means messenger. What's she say? God sent me an angel from the heaven above. And then this wicked nigga came out with a movie. The only time Esau shows you that angel is a Jake was Preacher's Wife, where angel was Denzel about to commit adultery with the preacher's wife. I almost fucking threw this book. Not this effing book. Excuse my language. But you know what I mean? You get upset.
Yeah.
So excuse me, I apologize for that. But you get upset.
Yeah.
You get chafed. Like, so the only time Esau proves, not this effing book, but the only time Esau proves that the angels are so-called black men is on the left-hand side.
Yep.
That movie Preacher's Wife is with Denzel.
Yeah.
And it's about him like lusting after the preacher's wife.
That shit is, man.
The only thing he got correct on that was the color. See? Half truth, whole lie.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Exactly.
Let me show you that now.
And what's the other movie? Found Destination. I believe they showed that
Denzel, preacher wife.
they showed the angel of death being a Jake man.
Candyman.
He can't Candyman. You know. But besides that, they're all white.
Look, in Whitney Houston, it says, look at this, right here, the preacher's wife, and there's Denzel, he's the angel.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I watched it. That's crazy, man.
Look, the cleric begins to doubt himself and is visited by an angel. The heavenly emissary is supposed to help the good reverend over his midlife crisis, but he is distracted by the cleric's lovely young wife.
Yo,
Fuck him, man. See my point? So he'll say, here's Michael, and it looks like an Edomite, but then, you know, here's this angel who looks like how angels look, but he's gonna commit adultery.
Oh,
That's your enemy. And guess who's right under him? Eve.
yep.
Like Drake was DeMarcus Cousins. That's how she is with him, right?
On his fucking armpit.
So going back to this, like you get from my speech, it says Ezekiel 1 and 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. Okay, the faces also representing their attributes, but they also had a face of a literal man. That's why when you like seen the angel at the Cowboys Redskins game, okay, and then the angel that was behind the beloved brothers in Los Angeles, okay,
right,
and it says, and their feet were straight feet, and the soles of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, representing the boot. So they had a boot, like how ninjas, how their feet are. Remember when you're little, you'd wear your socks and your flip-flops? I used to like that shit. But that's their boot, okay? And it says, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So right there cuts the movie Michael for you.
Come on. So-called black men. Just like the that one Edomite said he's seen angels come out, the so-called UFO, the chariot. He said they were like over 7 feet tall. They had big afros.
And faces of men that never been defeated.
The water.
So now back to the regularly scheduled program.
Was it on me? Okay, it was on you.
12 and 1, and then you had Thessalonians?
Yeah.
Yep. So 12 and 1 again from the top.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and 1. And at that time shall my God stand up.
Because we're going to need them. We're going to need divine intervention.
Right.
We're going to legitimately need angels to stop bullets, angels to stop eater robots, killer drones, robotic dogs, super soldiers with exoskeleton strength, okay, to protect us.
Right.
If the Lord doesn't raise the standard on us in particularly, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to need, like when the angel woke Peter up.
Yeah,
Remember
to
he-
take him out of...
Yeah, get up. Come
He thought
on.
it was a dream.
He said, come on, man. He said, no, don't worry. Martin Luther King will come later.
Come
Keep
on,
going.
man. It's going. Come on, man. It's going to get to that point.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Esau, he's going to be so amped up on the left-hand side.
Yep.
So it makes sense why the Lord is going to deliver us through the right-hand side.
Have
Come
to.
on. He's not going to leave us hanging. Come on,
And
man.
remember that sister had a dream that those troops were going to grape her, and an elect brother saved her.
Yeah. I remember that. Yep.
Verse 1. The great prince was standing for the children of that people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. At that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right. So there's a time coming that no nation has ever experienced, even since the beginning of their existence. Okay? We're gonna witness things we never even knew could happen. To the vast level of judgment that it's gonna be. So this is why now it's a small sanctuary where we rest together while waiting to be delivered out of that time. You got that, bro?
Yep. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1.
Shit, we want to be delivered right now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
You know, but we know it's needful for us to be here.
Right.
But like, you know, we move, it rains, we get under covering, it stinks. You know, it's just chaos out here.
Yeah,
See, you gotta understand, we're way up in Gloucester. This is like a forgotten noble city that's now just turned to slums. It's like Detroit's sister.
Yeah, bro.
It's bad out here.
Shit worse.
It's really bad out here.
Yeah.
If we ever did a walk and talk at night on Lyle Ave,
Oh my God. Somebody just got stabbed.
a
Recently
woman
over there. Yeah.
in her chest,
Chest.
in the titty meat area.
Damn.
Holy crap.
Damn, man.
You know, imagine if we did a walk and talk and y'all actually see what we're amongst. And we be trying to go on byways, but then the weather don't permit. You know?
Even in walking talk in the downtown strip. This shit's effed up out here, man. Got homeless Jakes over here that's been homeless for over a decade.
Since we've been out here.
Right, since we've been out here preaching through the spirit, he's still out here. They still out here.
And what president fixed that?
No,
What
nothing.
Christian fixed that? Why ain't vocab fixed that?
See?
IUIC, why ain't you fix
Yeah,
that?
that's why we need the deliverance. You know?
And you fake ass camps, IUIC, all you got left is social media, man.
Yep.
You fucking phony ass camps. All you do is promote nothing but witchcraft and smiling children and women,
Yep.
and then you make it seem like that's the whole life that you'll be living. You false prophets, man. You're a false prophet. You don't care about your people. You don't care about Yahweh Shai's sheep.
Right.
That's why it says they devour the grievous wolves. Grievous wolves, man. You see that testimony, that one sister? She
Yeah.
said she finally had to leave. And then you fucking niggas, and I'm gonna call you that because you a nigga, man. You niggers.
Yep.
You wanna put a smear campaign on a woman? You fucking weirdos.
We captivity,
You're
man.
weird, man. You're weird. Yo, Jake, the level of Jake's wickedness, they need their ass beat.
Man.
I see why that demon beat the clothes off of them.
Right.
I see why them canisters from Kenya was flying.
Yeah, man.
Keep going.
2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Aren't we troubled?
Yes.
Notice how the word trouble keeps coming up. You know?
And
But they always be biased. Those are doves.
Yeah.
Look at them. Those are doves. They always be biased too. Just wanted to show y'all that.
It says that, that's the spirit. As birds fly, they shall defend Jerusalem.
And we need defense. See, because we're defending the gospel. So it's gonna come a point where the famine of word takes place, and now those that once were anointed to defend the gospel will now need to be defended for the gospel.
Right.
You know? And that is the gospel, because that's the good news.
Right. Right.
This says find your calling. Well, this is church, we're calling out.
Right. Our heavenly calling, man. 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 7, and it reads, "And to you who are troubled," there goes the word again, troubled. Verse 6 and 7. "Rest with us."
So you rest with us in the lessons. You know, you rest with us in the edification. You rest with us with the consideration of going through the same tribulations.
Yep.
You know, we're resting together, even though what does it say there? We have no continuing city.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
so this is us resting together. This is
Right.
how we come together and rest after another long week down in the bars of Babylon.
Man, it says, "Comfort one another with these words."
Yeah.
And these are the words of Yahweh Shai.
And you need the gospel too. You can't have someone always teaching you you're just gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
If you're gonna break a brother down, you gotta build him back up.
Better.
You can't. Right. Better. You can't always.
Always just threaten them.
You gotta show mercy too. And it says, verse 7. When it says, "And to you who are troubled, rest with us."
Yeah, rest right here. You ain't gonna find rest out there.
Right.
You're not gonna find rest out there. And if you do, that's because he wants you to go to sleep to steal your organs.
Oh man.
You know, to steal from you, rob
Yeah.
from you, take from you.
Yeah.
He wants to take your life. He wants to take what's inside your body.
Yeah.
You got fucking monsters ruling, man.
Yeah.
And that word monster means a brain defect.
Yeah. Like the movie said, he said, "Take your life," right? Like the movie Get Out. He wants to be you.
Oh man, yo,
He wants birthright back.
you gotta watch that again.
That's a good yo.
Now watch that
Yeah.
again.
Hey, watch that movie again, man. That's a great movie. Great movie. Esau wants his birthright back.
Get Out. That's
Yeah,
a great
man.
movie, man.
Yeah.
Just like don't let that box you in.
Yeah.
He was so blinded as a Gentile Jake that he couldn't see the woman that he loved was used to trap him. You can't see. Hey, watch, don't be around all these Edomites. Don't be around a lot of people in general. You know?
Yeah.
You don't need to be always up in the mist with shit, man. Being around all these weird ass people. And luckily, he was delivered because of his friend.
His brother. Right.
And guess what? The nigga woman didn't help. Was it Angela Bassett? She laughed at him when he was giving the testimony.
Right. It looked like Angela Bassett. Might as well be.
That was her.
Oh, that's funny, man. And it says, "And to
Now
you,"
I gotta check.
right? And she looked like Angela Bassett, but it was some other Jake chick. Oh no.
No. I'm talking about the cop when the friend went to the police.
Oh, Salaki, it's the girl that played in Living Single, Max. That was her.
Oh, it was Max.
Yeah.
It was. It was her. She maxed out.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. The
And-
water.
But then sticking to that point, it just goes to show how the nigga woman wasn't on his side.
Yeah.
She not on our side right now.
Yep.
She was the side of, she's on the side of the serpent.
She decided Satan.
Yeah, say it.
She's
say
on
it.
Satan's sideline.
Yeah.
So y'all keep handing out those flyers and let all them agents come into your organization.
Right.
Sidekick.
Yep.
Back in
So sisters, thank you, Abba Shemel Shai. You're not on Satan's sideline anymore.
Right. That's right. Back in 2 Thessalonians 1 is 7, "And to you who are troubled, rest with us."
I'm troubled.
Right.
Oh, he said, I'm troubled on every side, but not distressed.
Yeah.
See,
right.
we're troubled, but we're not distressed to overthrow.
That's right.
But we're supposed to be troubled, which that keeps us sober.
Right.
You know?
Right. And it reads, just like a brother told me yesterday, he said, I'd rather go through the bitter. And I say, you're right. It's bitter is necessary, you know? And it says, when the Lord, but within that bitter, you know, you have the brothers to lean on to, you got the Lord. So everything is all good, you know? That's why Yahushua said, I give you a gift, a peace of mind and heart. A peace of mind, but he said, not as the word given, but as I give it. You know?
I got you. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 7. But we have in this treasure, but we have this treasure. This is treasure. Neglect not the gift. You know? I tell that to myself. I'm like, man, I want to be more diligent.
Right.
I want to read more. What Kobe say? More. We want more.
Right.
And sometimes in this walk, sometimes it's the thought that counts.
That's right.
You know, it says the Most High he chose King David because he was after his heart.
Right.
So you're not always gonna be able to please the Lord in the flesh. That's why you got to be pleasing him in the spirit. You may have not did a lesson that day, but did you want to?
Right.
Or did you try to? That's the difference. That's the gospel.
Right, exactly. Or if you didn't do a lesson, did you read? You know what I'm saying? Did you read then?
Did you read what I told you
Right.
to read?
So it's like that's why it says, and the true worshiper shall worship the Most High in spirit and truth, because the Most High is the spirit, like you just said. You know.
2 Corinthians 4:7. But we have this treasure. We have treasure, man. You have to be looking at this as treasure. In earthen vessels, this nasty bag body, but we still maintain it. You know, push-ups, pull-ups, diet. You know, try to get your bike ride in.
Right.
Like my next goal, because I'd like to go on a bike track, and I like to do 28 laps, which is equivalent to 7 miles. My next goal is to run 28 laps.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ride the bike there and then run it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
Get yourself, you know?
And that will shed a lot of body fat too.
Hey.
But that's spiritual, because the scriptures say that the virgin are trimming their lamps.
Yep.
You know, getting right.
Yep, not waxing worse. It says, but we have this treasure, which most people don't look at this as a treasure. They look at it as trash.
Yeah.
You know? But Apostle Paul said we would be called trash, the garbage of the world. And then one time, Bishop Nathaniel, to the reporter, he said, there's just certain camps, they're just garbage. But in the translation, it said we'd be called garbage.
Right.
It says,
Nathaniel.
It says that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us, because at the end of the day, this is of Yahweh Bashem El Shai.
That's right.
So we'll even correct ourselves in statements, you know, because a man may slip with his tongue, but not in his heart. And it says, we are troubled on every side. Vehicle issue, body issues, thorn in the side. Then you get rid of one thorn and a new thorn pop up. You know? Like, strange.
Man.
Should just be happening. But you come to a point where what happens now doesn't affect you like it once happened back then.
Right,
So now you see, oh, growth.
Right.
Like a pull-up. You did 5 pull-ups and you struggled at the 5th. So now when you go back, oh, now I'm doing 8. Oh, now I'm hitting 10 reps.
Right.
So you had to go through that struggle so you can get that gain.
Right.
It's all about gain, man. Growth.
They say no pain, no gain.
That's it.
You know, because when you're working out, your muscles have to tear in order for them to get bigger.
You have to put them through extreme stress so that the body recovers on a level of more strength, so when that stress comes again, it can handle it.
That's right.
So that's like gold. You know, you have to be burned to a level so that you could become moldable.
Right.
You know? Like, man, I went through a 7-month chastisement, but the end was so sweet. Everybody was getting checked. Everybody was getting audited. And like now the eyes was off me. You know? So Tupac, you can have it. What you say? All eyes on me?
Yeah.
It feels good when all eyes is on the ones who the eyes need to be on. These people about to start getting in trouble, brothers. Okay? These nasty, demonic, fucking body bag people, they're about to start getting in trouble. They're about to get audited. They're about to get checked. They're about to get white glove. But what have you done today? And they can't handle adversity. They can't handle the heat in the kitchen. So why your ass lie on your application then? You know? So all these people, they're about to feel it. And none of these fucking phony, hypocritical people with their stupid ass outfits on titles are getting ready to be able to handle that trouble that's coming your way.
That's right.
But the Lord has put us through it so we can handle it. All right, we gotta work. All right, we gotta deal with it. It says, we are troubled, 2 Corinthians 4:8. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair.
Right.
Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. But they want to destroy you.
Right.
This place is trying to destroy us.
Right.
Remember it said the heathen are against to destroy you? They want to destroy you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Yep.
They want you out here muttering with your head down with the same clothes on, homeless in the street, man. There's a conspiracy going around that they found the real Kanye West on a park bench somewhere.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he was just you know?
Yep.
And it says, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahweh Shai, that the life also of Yahweh Shai might be made manifest in our body. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahweh's sake, that the life also of Yahweh might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So Yahweh is being made manifest.
Right.
Okay? And that's where the glory of the name of the Lord is being presented in distress, pain, persecution, perplexity. And then you still stand, but not because of Jesus or Christ, because of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh.
Right.
That's what the walk is about. You're being put on a level to show your durability and what the name could do with this body.
Right. That's right, man.
There you go again with the fringes.
Oh shit.
See how I spot him? I'm wearing
Damn.
glasses. I'm wearing glasses.
Damn.
I spotted him all the way down. Look, you can see. Here's an Israelite.
You can tell that's him too.
Look at this. Look at that. You can spot him from right here. Let me see. Oh, you can't zoom in? There. Look at the fringes. See the white? See the white? Them are the fringes. See the white? Don't look at the pink. All right. See that? How we spot him? What'd he say? Spot him, got him?
Yeah. Gotcha.
That little monster. So, could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Could be. Well, shit, subscribe. Like the channel. Any of you agents out there, why don't you give a nigga a like? Nah, I'm just playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not fretting, man. Like, cause you look, okay, you're CIA, you're FBI, you're IDF. Well, we GMS.
Right.
Everybody got a name.
Okay.
Now what? You eat, pee, and poop. You know what I mean? Like, you do the same, you know? We just better than you. You just got a job. You don't even know what you're involved in. They came in unaware. You crept in unaware. You Homo sapiens in your guns. You know?
We got none of us anyway.
Yeah.
You know? We don't fear what man could do unto us.
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Just like how Shai said.
You just gotta be baptized and grow past the titles of Babel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the administrator director of the FBI is here. Brett?
right.
Right. You talking about fucking Brett?
Right.
Oh God.
Corpus coming to the job.
Yeah. It's all psycho babble.
Yeah.
It's all psycho
Yeah.
power.
It's mental.
It's all, yeah.
Yeah. Back in 2 Thessalonians 1:7, it says, "Unto you who are troubled, rest with us.
That's right.
When the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels."
Maya Ka'ala. Can we get, is that Isaiah 34:16 or 6?
Which one?
As birds?
Defending Jerusalem?
Yeah.
I know it's not exactly. Look at it real quick.
Isn't it
I believe it's in the
34?
20s. Let's see. I could be wrong. As birds flying.
Okay, it's not Isaiah 34.
I got you. Let's see. Isaiah 31:5.
There we go.
Isaiah 31:5. It says, "As birds flying,
Yep.
so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem."
UFOs, so-called UFOs.
Yes.
So-called, what is it, IAPs?
UAP.
UAPs, thank you. So-called UAPs, Foo Fighters.
Yep.
All right, so-called chariots, star people, as
Yep.
Gad calls them. Gad called them star people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I got that book. Oh, look at
Perfect.
that. The American Indian UFO Star at Sea Connection.
Yep.
Now let me show you something. When you flip it around, what's that right there?
That's the Hebrew.
Grab it, brother.
Sign
Right, you got it.
that.
We got him.
Right here.
That's George. That's Cesare.
Go right here.
Perfect. Look at this. Right here. So what is this?
That's the high.
That's the ha.
Yep.
So ha. Okay. Ha is Hebrew.
Yep.
Look at that.
All right.
Ha. Let me see. Where is it? Right there. Look at that. Look at that. Paleo Hebrew on a Gadite tent about their connection with UFOs that they call star people.
Oh, well, yeah.
Come on, man. Now I'm gonna look through and see if I got some information for you. Look at this. This is the American Indian, which are the Gadites, the true children of Israel. All right. It says the American Indian UFO Starseed Connection. I just highlight. Let's read what it says. It says Maryland sensed that she had to meet with Hoppy 4 days after arriving in New York. She was introduced to John Hill, a Iroquois Indian who was in Manhattan to speak to United Nations regarding the last days which many Indians feel are approaching.
Wow.
So why Gad feel like that? Because Romans 10 said they got a zeal, but not according to knowledge. Only Jacob has kept thy precepts.
Wow.
Oh, look another one. Prophecies hold the key to mysterious artifacts.
Wow.
Now a new discovery threatens to prove that we are in the last days.
Woo.
And that the American Indian are to play an important role in the cleansing period that will soon engulf our Father Earth.
Wow.
It said Mother Earth, but you know we gotta fix them up. So Gad, how's Gad gonna play a major role in the end days? What would you say?
I would say right now.
No, but prophetically, how would you say Gad is gonna play a major role in the last days? Hold up, what would you say? Just to humor me. You don't got to verbatim. What would you just say? It's okay. You don't got to book and chapter it.
God shall be the truth.
Woo! That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it, brother. Exactly.
That's what came in my head.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep.
Exactly. That's it. Simple. The simplicity how it shine. Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him. Gad was overcome by the 7th Cavalry, and they also had buffalo soldiers. But Gad kept fighting way longer. I got some history for you, for the brothers out there.
Actually, had Hamites.
Yeah, good. Call their president. Tell that nigga stop getting beat up by Trump. Look, screenshot that. Get all that in there. That's Gad. That's the breakdown for Gad. That's the breakdown for Issachar. That's the breakdown for Ephraim, also interchangeable with Joseph. Now, Gad, he was overtaken in 1866 by the 7th Cavalry, mixed in with the Buffalo Soldiers. Because last night I was watching the movie The Patriot. It just
Great movie,
It just sticks with me.
That's a great movie.
You know, I said, let me watch this.
Fire.
I'm in Daniel 7 spirit.
That's a good movie.
Now, in the movie, the British came to Mel Gibson's house, and there was the slaves, but they said they were free. They're in South Carolina. They're free. All of a sudden, this one house, there's just niggas working, but they just, you know, 1776 in South Carolina, and you not slaves?
Come on.
Anyways, when the Brits came, the niggas said, you slaves, fight for the British king, and we'll grant you freedom. He said, oh, we're not slaves. We work here. He said, well, why don't you do your part and fight for your king's honor, basically. So Brits was getting on everybody. You know what I mean? So Brits had Judah fighting for them when they fought against the colonists, and just like the colonists had Judah fighting for them.
Yeah.
You know? It's like there's just a lot of information. And then the Indian Removal Act was 1814 to the 1830s. That's when they removed them. That's that troop. Well, then, and then you had the Wounded Knee, which was December 29th, 1890. Okay? So that troop overtook Gad, but guess what? Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. That's that 12,000 Gadites from each tribe, as well as any Gadites that are amongst the 1/3, consisting of the men, you know, women, children. Now let me see what else. You got some, brother? I'm just going through these some old books that we had, so I'm just pulling out, you know, any information. But since you mentioned, did we finish Isaiah 31?
Oh, no. Excuse me. Let's get there. Back in Isaiah 31 and verse 5.
Yeah, but I got a good one for you.
And it says, as birds flying,
Yep.
so will the Lord Yahweh Shema of hosts defend Jerusalem.
Defend the elect, Jerusalem, Ezekiel 5 and 5. Jerusalem's a people before a place.
Right.
They're the Israel of God. Not all Jacob is Jacob. Not all Israel's Israel. So just because you are an Israelite, if you are not of the elect of the Israelites, you will not be defended as an Israelite.
Right.
That hence why it's called Jacob's trouble.
Right.
But he will be saved.
It says, inside.
Yeah.
You know, it says, defending also,
Yup.
he will deliver it,
Yup.
and passing over, he will preserve it.
Now check this out. I got this book probably like 5-6 years ago. Now watch this. It says right here. Look, they got little chariots in there.
It's a gym right here.
Yeah. It says it is merely coincidence that a good number of sightings have taken place above sacred Gadite spiritual places
Wow.
or over the reservations of various tribes?
Wow.
Or is it just more proof that the sky gods are keeping a watchful eye on their friends?
Wow. See, that proves that the Gadites and Israelites, like the whole northerners,
Yep.
and also proves that's our people. Like when Judah was in child slavery, they seen chariots too.
Yep.
Swing
low.
low, swing chariot.
Yep.
So just like the southern seen chariots from the Lord, he showed chariots to Gad, the north.
So
You know?
so anybody that tried to say the north wasn't the north, ha ha.
Right.
You're wrong.
Come on,
All
man.
right. What you got,
That's
bro?
a Hebrew character right there.
Yep. What about the Los Lunas story?
Right. What's the Ishkar? Come on, Mexico. This is Isaiah 26 and verse 20, and it reads, "Come, my people, enter into thy chambers, the chariots, and
Chill.
What you got?
Yo, check this out. It says, check this out right here. It says, the historical legend that Hamashiach, during the years of his life, that could not be traced, actually ended up in North America and taught the tribes much in the way of spiritual values, because he said, I have sheep, but not of this
I was
fold.
about to get that.
Is that Luke?
John.
John 16?
Yep. John. Yeah, it's around that.
10 and 16?
There, yep.
So that's why the Mormons teach that who they call Jesus came over to the Americas on a stone canoe. That's why if you ask an elder Mormon, they call themselves, they'll tell you that Gadites are Israelites.
Yep.
Or they call them Lamanites. On the same street, not even 15 feet away, I had 2 Edomite devils tell me that I'm an Israelite. Oh, you know what it is? Because the camera's this way.
The camera.
You know what, brother? I'm gonna tell you some ingenuity, my brother. Take a picture, go into your photos, and then reverse the picture.
Oh, yeah, you can flip it. Yeah.
Come on,
Edit that photo.
Flip it, brother. Flip it.
Yeah.
You gotta flip back. What do you think?
Gotta
Flip it.
You gotta be a little tech savvy.
You gotta be tech savvy, brother.
You know? Yeah, screenshot it, then edit in photos.
And you can
press
reverse
that.
it.
Yeah, reverse, yeah.
You reverse it. Gotta flip it on him.
So I got this one, but I'm finna just like
Yeah.
after you're done.
That was it.
Okay. That's edifying right there.
Yeah.
So that proves real quick since you just read it. This is John 10 and verse 16. The words of Yahweh Shai. Let's see here. It says, "And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd."
And guess what? You got a Gadite legend where a man saw 12 beautiful maidens like walking on water or something.
Wow.
What's the 12 represent? The tribes, bro.
That's fire,
Yeah.
man.
So next week, Lord's will, we'll remember to put the camera this way.
Okay.
That's why, like, how they see us, we're actually on the opposite side.
Oh.
It's just because of the camera.
So it's what we see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just flip that, my brother.
Yep.
Flip it on him.
Isaiah 26 and verse 20, to land back in that gym right there. That's amazing. "Come, my people, enter down to thy chambers."
My people.
Yep.
You out of here.
Right.
Oh, that's why it says let the wheat and tear grow together.
Right.
You know, like say hypothetically you get a cool woman who might not seem like it looks like a typical Jake. That's not your job to worry if she is or not.
Exactly.
If she's at peace with you, you'll find out.
So that matters.
Let them grow together. You'll find out. You're the prize. You got a ticket on the ship, the golden ticket on the ark. Aren't we in the days of Noah?
Yeah.
See? So as long as you get on Shem, okay?
And it reads, "And shut thy doors about thee."
Like the ark was sealed.
Right.
And people screamed and lamented and groaned.
And it reads, "Hide thyself as it were for a little moment."
Hell yeah, we're gonna have to hide ourselves from that blab. We're gonna have to hide ourselves from Yahweh. When you think about it, because remember it says he's a consuming fire?
And that nuclear fire.
Yeah,
exactly.
bro.
That's the indignation.
Yeah.
And it said right here, it
Yo,
says,
you don't play with the Most High. I'm scared of Yahweh. You know, I'm scared of Yahweh Shemel Shai, but like, you know, I'll talk to Yahweh Shai in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, but it's like, I'm going through Yahweh Shai.
Right.
See, you got other guys that be all praises, right? And then they'll have the paleo of just Yahweh, but you needed Moses to get to Yahweh in the
Right.
Old Testament, Old Covenant, Now you need Yahweh Shai for the new.
Right.
So how are you skipping past the mediator to get to the judge?
Right.
You're actually going to be held in contempt of court.
Right.
You
That's
know?
why the Hebrew poster, we made through the Spirit. Like we don't, it don't have just Yahweh's name. It's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai's name.
Yeah, the only thing we got wrong on that poster is the Yod was supposed to be the smallest.
Oh yeah.
But you know, when we made it at the time, we had a zeal.
Yeah.
You know.
And it reads Isaiah 26:20. It says, "Hide thyself as it were for a little moment."
And that's from the nukes. You got
exactly. And it says 1 hour is going to be destroyed. So it is going to be a little moment. You know?
Yeah.
That's for America. Babylon's going to be destroyed in 1 hour.
Right where we're standing.
You know how big this state is alone, New York State? That's amazing. And it says, until the indignation be overpassed, right, the destruction.
Like it reminds me of in the first purge when they hid in that closet.
Yeah, and his name was Isaiah.
Yeah.
The spiritual. The Jake's name was Isaiah.
Literally, the Esau was coming in like a flood.
Yeah.
And they somehow had a closet. You know, you had a Judite male.
Yep.
You know, full form.
Yep.
Was fronting on him. Now he's the most beautifulest man to you, because they're saviors.
Mm-hmm.
And then he threw them all in the closet, and this big ass explosion happened, and they were delivered.
Yeah.
And everyone else perished.
Yep.
Come on, man. There's a lot of gems out here.
Verse 21, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity.
Yep.
The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
And then it says she'll rock to and fro like a drunkard.
Right.
So this place is destined, prophesies to ultimately Babylon to be destroyed by the Lord by using the kings of war, kings of men in war. This is why war is on the horizon, and we ain't even talk about the mark yet.
Mm-hmm.
You got the MOTB. The MOTB is here.
Yep.
It just hasn't been made mandatory. The MOTB is here. World War III is bubbling, man.
Mm-hmm.
So the two major prophecies that we need to have happen, or we can smell them in the air, man.
Well,
All right, so with that, we pray that you brothers and sisters was edified through the Spirit as we were, and we just want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders, our apostles, and our bishops of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.